When there's limited space and you want to grow some food, in my case, more food in this urban setting like the patio, a lot of times I'm growing in containers, and I would prefer to grow it in some kind of a vertical growing system to maximize my growing space. Well, today I'm really excited to be growing a snack station with some less common varieties of strawberries, tomatoes, mint, and a special fruit that I want to talk to you more about later in this video. I'll also give you some tips and care guides for the plants that I'll be planting today. And I'm going to grow all this in just this 4 square space. This is a PopUp Garden, and they are the sponsor of this video. Let's unpack. Now, to assemble is super easy. You just stack them together. This is the Essentials and Deluxe 3-tier modular systems. You can grow up, down. There's a hole here for you to grow downwards, and around with these 4 planters. You can simply just clip onto here. Maybe I'll put one over here. I mean, you can clip it anywhere around these areas that you want. Anyone can do this. I can do this. Kids can do this. Seniors can do this. So you can put it one on each side like this, and then you can have something that's tall and upright to go on top right here. This is a pretty good size. It's got pretty good depth. I think you can grow like carrots, radishes, any kind of even root vegetables in this pretty nice boxy container in the top. Let's take a look at how wide this is. It's 24 inches by, well, I don't have anything on this back side, so it is 19.5 inches going this way. The height of this is 40 inches and I am 5 feet. Now, if you want something that's more narrow, you can just easily remove these and you'll have a more narrow setup. Right now, PopUp Garden and I are doing a giveaway, so be sure you check the description box for details, and good luck to you. Now we're going to do some planting. Let me pour some of this potting soil. This is Fox Farm potting soil that I mixed in a little bit of rock dust, worm castings from my worm bin, and some compost. If you don't do any kind of composting or you don't want to add anything else to it at all, at least go pick up a good organic potting mix at your local nursery. Let's start off by planting some mint, since it's super easy to do. This is berries and cream. They have such an invasive root system, so it's best to plant them by themselves. It's also not a good idea to plant different mints in the same container. Just gonna gently spread the roots out a little bit. Add a little bit of this SD Microbes Vermicompost. Give this a little spray, wet it before I put this mycorrhizae on top, because when I sprinkle this, I want this to stay on the roots. This one looks like there's some sort of scale growing on it, so I'm just going to go ahead and clip this out. And with mint, what I can do is just lay it down like that and let it root some more. I just pulled out one of these clip things from my irrigation tubings. Keep it in place. Gently press out any air pockets. Got one done. Let's do the next one. Here is my pineapple mint. It's nice and fuzzy. It smells great. It smells really fruity. It's going to be really nice once this fills in. For strawberries, I like to add a little bit of the berry tone. Since this is a very small container, I'm just going to put a little handful of this. Now some vermicompost. This is a pineberry, and these are all runners that I've propagated. Strawberries can really appreciate some compost and well-drained soil. Keep it moist, but also keep it well-drained. So a good potting mix would be perfect for it. The most important thing when planting strawberries is that you do not want to suffocate these crowns. That's the crown. So you just keep it above soil level. All right, got this planter done. Let me finish off with those strawberries and then we'll move on to the surprise fruit. It's now time to plant the big pot. Got this tray that goes on the bottom to catch any kind of excess water that drains out. For the upside down part, I'm going to be using this cherry tomato. It's pretty sweet variety. It also cascades. This is just a cascading variety. So look for something that's more like the dwarf for the smaller cherry or grape tomatoes. I would not recommend growing something like a large tomato upside down. But yeah, I think this one should be good. I'm sure there's many ways to do this, but what I'm thinking is to prevent so much of that soil to fall out of this hole right now, since it's still, everything is fresh, the soil will be really loose. I would actually wrap the base of this tomato to prevent the soil from coming out. Remove that tag. Just wrap it with some newspaper or stuffing paper. Then here we go. When you're growing something upside down, there's gravity that pulls, so a lot of the moisture is going to be sitting on the bottom. That's why that hole is really big, making sure that it would drain out well. But to assist with that, I'm actually going to add a little more perlite to my potting mix to make sure that things would drain through really well. Otherwise, the tomato might end up rotting at the base. All right, so this is what my mix looks like right now. Here we go. If you want to plant this deeper, you just pull it up a little bit and then start placing the soil underneath it. Since I pulled this up to encourage deeper and more root growth, I now have this much more of the tomato stem to encourage roots to grow. So just got to fill this up now. It can be a little tricky to plant something upside down. Kind of compress the soil a little bit to prevent them from falling so much out of the hole. Now the plant I'm going to be putting on the top is this one. This is the pepino melon. This pepino melon germinated from a seed in my garden. So I'm going to separate it with this spiral ginger and we're going to plant this into here. If you want to taste this fruit, you either got to grow it yourself or know someone that grows it, because all the ones I've had at the stores or even farmers markets are not anything close to the ones you grow yourself. They have to be vine ripened. This takes some patience. Since a pepino melon is a nightshade, you would take care of it the same way you would with tomatoes. So they like, part sun, part shade, or full sun, and well-drained soil. Keep the soil moist. It does kind of fruit like a tomato as well, so you can either train it, as like keep it trimmed to be like a bush in this situation since it's in a container, but you can also trim it like the lower and lean method with the tomatoes with just one lead stem, and you can clip it up and train it to climb on a trellis. That is it. Time for the fun part. We're going to clip all those plants on and we'll check it out. The strawberries like full sun, so I'm going to put it in the front. Now we just have to water it. Just mix some of the seaweed extract in the water, and it's now time to give these plants a drink. To maximize this growing space, I'm going to add some gold moss in here. It's going to grow in and cover the top part, acting like a living mulch, and then it will cascade down here. It's going to look really beautiful and it is edible. This is how easy to propagate gold moss. You just place it in the soil, bury it a little bit, and then in a few weeks, you're gonna see some new growth. Next, I'm just gonna add some mulch. What I like about growing these strawberries in the vertical garden is that it prevents some of those slugs and snails to get on them. Also, some critters. I find it's a bit harder for them to try to get the fruits. Since I'm using hemp mulch, it's kind of, it gets kind of matted once it gets wet, so I just got to make sure that I leave a little bit of space around the strawberry plant so it won't cause rotting. But I do want to put some mulch, especially with this smaller container. The soil tends to dry out a bit faster. In case you do need to move this and you got something growing upside down, be sure not to take it out and just plop it on the floor because you are going to be smashing your plant. But instead, you can pick it up by first removing these planters. And then when you move this big pot, make sure you are moving it with this black case. And maybe you might want to use 2 of them if the plant is really tall so that you won't smash your plant. And this is definitely better to do with 2 people. But yeah, I'm just gonna scoot it over a little bit. With this setup, you can grow up to 245% more food compared to a regular container in the same amount of space. I can see myself planting a lot of different themes in this setup over the seasons. Right now I have the strawberry tower, but I can also grow sweet potatoes in here and let the vine climb on like a tomato cage on top. Or I can do a little salad or a salsa garden here with some edible flowers like pansies or violas. I can even grow carrots or radishes in the winter here and have like a salad station. There's just a lot of possibilities here. And what I like most about this setup is that it also gives me the option to grow something bigger on top, and it works really well for my space because I have a narrow garden. Things don't get a lot of sunlight unless they're raised up. That's why I got a lot of elevated beds here. And then, yeah, I have really easy access to any kind of plants whenever I need to replace anything. It's just easy access. Let's move this where I want it to go. Well, this fits the space just right for me, and I think it would work for a balcony, a deck, or a porch. Also great for a beginning gardener or kids. You can, you know, stack it lower, just do 2 tiers instead of stacking 3. It's just, I love that easy access to the plants. If you're interested in checking out the system, I'll leave a link in the description box. And don't forget about the giveaway. Check the description box for info. Thank you so much, you guys, for making this far in the video, and thank you to PopUp Garden for sponsoring today's episode. For plants and seeds, don't forget to check out my shop. I'll leave that in the description box as well. I'll see you right back here in the next one. Happy gardening!